On the night of December 31st, 2022, Michelle Zajko's 30th birthday, her adoptive parents, Richard and Rita Zajko, were shot and killed inside their home in Chester Heights, Pennsylvania. Rita, 69, was found with a gunshot wound to the back of her head. Richard, 71, had been shot in his right hand and right temple. Their bodies were discovered in an upstairs bedroom. Two 9mm shell casings stamped 9mm Luger plus P SIG were recovered at the scene, but no weapon was found. 3 days later, Pennsylvania and Vermont state investigators traveled to Michelle's residence in rural Coventry, Vermont, about 20 miles from the Canadian border. Michelle confirmed she owned a 9mm handgun, but refused to turn it over due to lack of a warrant. The weapon, according to investigators, appeared freshly cleaned. She told troopers she had not seen or spoken to her parents since January 2022, and claimed she was in Vermont during the days surrounding the murders. Detectives later found out Michelle had purchased the same type of gun and ammunition as the spent casings at the scene. They quickly filed a search warrant. On January 12, 2023, Pennsylvania state troopers showed up at the Candlewood Suites near the Philadelphia airport, where Michelle was staying for her parents' funeral. They brought her in for questioning, but had to release her when she refused to cooperate. While waiting in the lobby for her car, Michelle fled on foot, abandoning the vehicle with $40,000 in cash inside. Troopers then returned to the hotel and searched the room of two of Michelle's associates, where they recovered her handgun. For the next 2 years, Michelle Zajko vanished. The case stalled until it resurfaced in January 2025, following the death of Border Patrol agent David Milland during a gunfight in northern Vermont. 2 suspects, Ophelia Bockholt and Teresa Youngblood, were linked to the shootout. Youngblood was charged federally and pleaded not guilty to 2 weapons charges. Prosecutors alleged the firearms used by Youngblood and Bockholt came from a person of interest in a Pennsylvania double murder, Michelle Zajko. Michelle was eventually tracked down in Frostburg, Maryland, in February 2025, where a man called police to report 3 suspicious individuals, Michelle, Jack Ziz Lasota, and another associate, on his property wearing all black and traveling in box trucks. When officers arrived, they found Michelle and Lasota armed, wearing gun belts with ammunition. Michelle resisted arrest and was taken down physically. A loaded handgun was recovered from her waistband. She was arrested and charged with trespassing, obstruction, and weapons violations. Though she has not been formally charged in her parents' murder, Michelle remains the key person of interest. The gun recovered in her associate's hotel room matched the ammunition type used in the killing. Michelle's connection to Lasota, a self-declared AI researcher and leader of the fringe group known as the Zizians, raises serious concern. The Zizians are a cult-like faction of highly educated rationalists, often vegans, known for their obsession with AI and human optimization. They've been linked to at least 6 violent deaths across the U.S., including the 2022 samurai sword attack on a man in Vallejo, California, and the January 2025 fatal stabbing of the same man just before he was to testify in court. Lasota and another associate, Daniel Blank, had been staying in the same Pennsylvania hotel as Michelle on the night of the Zajkos' murder. Michelle's firearm was found in their room. Lasota, who identifies as female, was jailed for 5 months for obstructing the murder investigation and later skipped court, triggering a bench warrant. Surveillance footage from a neighbor's ring camera captured a vehicle arriving at the Zajko home around 11:30 p.m. on the night of the murders. A high-pitched voice was heard yelling, "Mom," followed by, "Oh my God, oh God." This was significant because Michelle had claimed she hadn't communicated with her parents in a year. However, texts found on Rita Zajko's phone showed attempts to reach out to her daughter about savings bonds believed to be intended for Michelle. The messages went unanswered. Michelle Zajko's early life paints a picture of high achievement. Adopted as a baby, she studied biology at Cabrini University and went on to earn a master's degree in bioinformatics from Temple University. She interned at both NASA and the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Her parents were deeply proud and continued to live modestly while offering generosity to tenants in the rental units they managed. The motive for the murders remains unclear. Some family members and neighbors point to Michelle's alleged ideological and emotional break from her parents, possibly influenced by her deepening ties to the Zizians. Investigators believe her involvement with this group may be central to the broader web of violence they've begun to uncover. No murder charges have yet been filed, but authorities are cautiously optimistic that justice for Richard and Rita Zajko is nearing.